Article 1. Ground Division. Source: TVBS News. As soon as the Japanese film series Ground Division was streamed, it was highly discussed, telling the process of a group of people pretending to be landlords to carry out high-value fraud, which not only reminds people of the fake book fraud that occurred in Taiwan a while ago, but also an adaptation of the real events in Japan, when the builder was defrauded by the Ground Division and lost 5.5 billion yen, which also made this drama full of highlights. After the official release of the poster, it also set off a hot discussion because of several celebrities in Taiwan who hid their faces. In Japan, there are people who pretend to be landlords to release land during the bubble economy period, and the money disappears after signing a contract with the victim, and the fraud process requires someone to star in the role of a lawyer or scrivener, and Taiwan has had scrivener fraud before, which is similar to the plot. The trailer of the film series Ground Division reads, "In the mixed building of Sumito Commercial in Shimbashi, Minato-ku, Tokyo, there is a real estate fraud group called the Ground Division, which has defrauded 2 billion yuan from a real estate company, and the police have not yet found this criminal group." The album is adapted from the true story of Japan, that is, the 2017 Sekisui housing groundsman fraud incident. The builder signed 7 billion yen at that time, and the land purchase contract paid hundreds of millions of deposits one after another, only to find out that it encountered a fraud group when handling the land transfer, causing a loss of 5.5 billion yuan that has not been recovered so far. Article 2. Land Scams. Source: ChatGPT. Land fraud refers to the acquisition of land or related property through false or fraudulent means. This type of fraud usually involves illegal means to deceive individuals or organizations into incurring financial losses in land transactions. Land fraud can take many forms, but here are some of the most common ways to prevent them. 1. Common land scams. False property rights. Fake sale. Scammers claim ownership of land and make fake sales. After the transaction, the buyer discovered that the scammer did not have a legal title to the land. Falsified documents. The use of forged land title deeds, or other legal documents to commit fraud. False development project. Fake project investments. Scammers impersonate developers or investment institutions to promise land development projects with high returns. After the investor delivers the funds, it is discovered that the project does not exist at all or has been discontinued. Falsification of approval documents, offering false development permits or approvals to deceive investors or buyers. Unauthorized agent. Pretending to be an agent, scammers impersonate legitimate real estate agents or agents to buy, sell, or lease land without authorization. Fake contracts. The use of forged contracts or agreements to induce buyers or tenants to sign contracts. Double sale. Duplicate sale. Scammers sell the same plot of land to multiple buyers, resulting in all buyers being invalid. False expropriation of land. Falsified expropriation, claiming that land is about to be expropriated by the government or other agencies, requiring the buyer to pay the so-called expropriation fee or termination fee in advance. 2. Precautionary measures. Verification of ownership. Verification of documents. Verify the authenticity of land title certificates, deeds, and other legal documents. Verification can be done through government departments or land registration agencies. Legal representation. Ensure that all intermediaries and agents involved in the transaction are legally authorized and qualified. Survey and development project. Verify the project. Conduct a thorough investigation of the development project, including checking the developer's background, project approval documents, and actual progress. Consult an expert. Seek professional advice on legal, real estate or investment issues to avoid fake projects. Legal contracts. Sign the contract. Work with a legitimate real estate agent or lawyer to ensure that the contract and agreement are legal, authentic, and signed by both parties. Review terms. Carefully review the terms of the contract, especially those regarding land ownership, payment terms, and return policies. Check the land registry. Land registration. Verify the registration records of the land to confirm the ownership of the land and any possible mortgages or restrictions. Access to government departments. Get up-to-date land information and history through your local government or land registry. Watch for common signs. Unusual prices. Be wary of below-market land deals or investment opportunities, which can be a sign of a scam. Urgency. Scammers often create a sense of urgency and force buyers to make a decision without giving it full consideration. 3. What to do if you encounter a scam. Report. Legal authorities. Report the scam to your local police or legal authority immediately. Financial institutions. If fund transfer or payment is involved, notify the bank or payment platform in a timely manner. Gathering evidence. Record keeping. Maintain all relevant transaction records, correspondence records, and contract documents for use in legal proceedings. Legal proceedings. Consult a lawyer. Consult with a professional lawyer to understand the legal options available to you to recover your losses or pursue liability. For summary. Land fraud involves false titles, fake developments, unauthorized agents, and other fraudulent practices. The key to preventing land fraud is to verify property rights, investigate projects, legally sign contracts, check registration records, and be alert to common signs of fraud. When encountering a scam, it is important to report and deal with the problem in a timely manner, preserve the evidence, and consult with a legal expert. Article 3. The case of the deception of the ground master of the water accumulation house. Source: ChatGPT. Seikisui house groundszer fraud usually refers to cases involving fake or unreal grounders, feng shui masters, geographers, providing false advice or services in order to defraud financial benefits. Scammers use the problem of water accumulation in their homes to make false claims to trick victims into making unnecessary alterations or paying high fees. Here are some common characteristics, cases, and precautions against this type of scam. 1. Common features. False feng shui or ground analysis. False reports. Scammers provide fake feng shui or ground analysis reports, claiming that the problem of stagnant water in the house is related to feng shui, geographical factors, and suggesting expensive remodeling or adjustments. Fake qualifications. Scammers pretend to be ground masters or feng shui masters and impersonate professional identities to conduct consultations. Exaggeration of the problem. False issues. Exaggerate or fabricate the severity of water accumulation in your home, saying that if you don't make renovations, it could lead to bigger financial or health problems. Falsifying influence. Claiming that stagnant water will affect family fortunes, health, or wealth, using psychological tactics to exert pressure. High fees. Fake service. Asking for a high service fee or remodeling fee, often much higher than the value of the actual service. Additional costs. Additional costs are added over the course of the service, or additional products and services are recommended to be purchased. 2 cases. Case 1. Fake feng shui master. A scammer pretended to be a feng shui master and provided a fake feng shui analysis, claiming that the problem of stagnant water in the house would lead to health and wealth problems. They require homeowners to pay a hefty feng shui consultation fee and suggest large-scale home remodeling. The victim found that the actual problem was simply due to a malfunction of the drainage system, and that the cost of the alteration was completely useless. Case 2. Fake ground division. Scammers impersonate grounders and conduct false ground analyses of houses, claiming that the water problem is caused by undesirable geographical factors. They advise homeowners to do expensive terrain modifications and offer fake remodeling options. The reality is that the problem of water accumulation in the house is due to infrastructure issues such as clogged or broken drainage pipes. 3 precautionary measures. Verification of eligibility. Check the certificate, confirm the professional qualifications and certifications of the feng shui master or ground master to ensure that they have the legal qualifications to practice. Find context, research the background and reputation of the person involved to understand their professional experience and customer testimonials. Review report. Independent review. Conduct an independent review of the feng shui or ground analysis report and consult with other professionals. Comparative suggestions. Compare the suggestions provided by other professional institutions to judge the authenticity and reasonableness of the report. Be wary of high fees. Clarify costs. Before signing the contract, clarify the cost structure and service content to avoid unnecessary additional costs. Ask for a quote. Compare with multiple service providers to make sure the offer is reasonable. Understand the real problem. Technical inspection. Have a professional building or drainage technician inspect your home for water accumulation and find out the actual cause. Advice. Consult with a regular construction company or property management company to understand the practical steps to solve the problem of water accumulation. 4. What to do if you encounter a scam. Report a scam. Legal authorities. Report fraud cases to the local police or legal authorities. Consumer protection organizations. Contact consumer protection organizations or relevant agencies for help. Gathering evidence. Record keeping. Maintain all relevant contracts, payment records, correspondence records, and reports in case of legal proceedings. Legal advice. Seek help from a lawyer. Consult a professional lawyer to understand the legal options and seek to recover losses or pursue liability. 5. Summary. Sekisui house grounds or fraud cases usually involve issues such as fake feng shui or ground analysis, fake qualifications, high fees, etc. The key to preventing this type of scam is to verify eligibility, review reports, be wary of high fees, and understand the actual issues. If you encounter a scam, it is important to report and deal with the problem in a timely manner, gather evidence, and seek legal advice. Source: Drama Enough. Tokyo is complicated. As the world's most populous city, it is both ahead of its time and conservative. It is full of futuristic cityscape and retains the traditional style. It not only gives people a safe and secure atmosphere, but also brews uneasiness and commotion in many corners. Such a complex appearance also makes Netflix's Japanese drama The Ground Division like a thought-provoking social fable, maintaining a convincing sense of realism, and the malice in those stories has also happened in real times. The plot of Ground Division is based on the Ground Division. Ground refers to land, and division refers to experts, who consider themselves experts in land transactions, but in fact they are criminals who carry out land-related fraud, taking advantage of complex land ownership relationships to exploit legal loopholes, through forging documents, in order to impersonate landowners or their agents, and then sell them to unsuspecting buyers. The ground engineer is often a group, including the leader who is responsible for the lead, the negotiator who arranges the plan, the well-informed intelligence officer, the legal expert who is proficient in the law, the document forger who has forgery skills, and the caster who finds suitable impersonators. And these ground divisions are not plot settings, but real ones. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Japan was in the midst of a bubble economy, when real estate prices were high and ground divisions were active for a while, and then after the digitization of real estate transaction documents, fraud became more difficult, making ground division fraud seem to be slowing down. In the plot of Ground Division, the setting is set in Tokyo, where land prices are soaring again on the eve of the Olympics. Harrison Yamanaka, played by Etsuji Toyokawa, the leader of the Ground Division group, trained Takumai Sugimoto, played by Tsuyoshi Ayano, who was once related to a certain incident, to become a ground division, and joined forces with intelligence agent Takeshita, played by Kitamura Kazuki, legal advisor Goto, played by Pierre Taki, casting agent Reiko, played by Eiko Koike, and others to commit real estate fraud. After accumulating success after success, they set an almost impossible goal of swindling 10 billion yen from well-organized corporations. Harrison Yamanaka says slowly, "Just set the bait and the prey will come to the door." Is it really that simple? In fact, the real world is more dramatic. Ground Division is adapted from the crime novel of the same name by Japan novelist Shinjo Keiō, and its story is based on a fraud incident of the ground master of a Sekisui house that occurred in June 2017. Sekisui Housing, one of Japan's largest home builders, defrauded 5.5 billion yen in this case, which also exposed the gaps and blind spots in Japan's real estate trading system, and also sparked heated discussions about the safety of the real estate market. On the eve of the Tokyo Olympics, every inch of land in Tokyo is at a premium, and the Kaikaikan Hotel in Nishi-Gotanda, Shinagawa Ward, with its excellent transportation location and 600 tsubo hinterland, has always been the object of coveted by developers. A group of ground workers seized the opportunity to pretend to be a landowner and signed a 7 billion yen land purchase contract with Sekisui House. Sekisui Housing successively paid a deposit and fees of 100 million units, and it was not until it was notified that the registration of the transfer of ownership was rejected, and it realized the seriousness of the problem and called the police. Later, 10 fraudsters were arrested, but it is said that the leaders of the group were not caught, and the 5.5 billion yen lost was not fully recovered. After the incident, the relevant personnel were pointed out many mistakes and blind spots in the sale and purchase of housing and land. For example, in order to prevent fraud by the ground owner, the real estate company would confirm the true identity of the landlord to the surrounding neighbors, but in fact did not implement it. In order to quickly promote the transaction, the members of the division took the president on a site visit to obtain the president's special approval before the formal approval, bypassing the company's normal approval mechanism, which was later referred to as the president's case within the company. These elements are also translated into part of the story. As for the Kaikaikan, it fell into disrepair, and finally the real landlord sold the land to the real estate company Asahi KCI, and then a high-end residential building called Atlas Tower Gotanda was built, and the delivery of the house began in March 2024. This groundbreaking fraud case is full of drama, but it is also a real case, and the choreographer and director Naren accurately grasped the boundary between fiction and reality and adapted the period into a drama. In an interview with Japan Media, Ogana mentioned that most of his film and television works are based on realism, but this time the content involves the three perspectives of the deceived party, and the arrested party, and considers different ways of expression for each perspective. The immovable industry and the police thoroughly adhere to realism, and the deceitful side, the ground division, gives the crime suspense film drama. For example, in the design of the rooms and costumes in Harrison Mountain, they consciously create a charm that can attract the audience even though they are criminals, both cold and enthusiastic, like a performance like a cold burn, so that the audience unconsciously has almost longing feelings, and even wants to cheer for them later. Article 4. Waterlogged houses. Source: Wikipedia. Sekisui House, Limited, Japan's largest housing construction merchant, Osaka Umeda. It was established in 1960 with a capital of 100 million yen as the housing division of Sekisui Chemical Industry Co., Limited, and was renamed Sekisui Housing Industry Co., Limited. Sekisui Housing Industry Co., Limited, in 1963. Sekisui Chemical Industry still holds a stake, but IT is no longer a subsidiary. Sekisui Chemical Industry also has a housing product called Sekisui Heim, which has a similar pronunciation in Japanese. Article 5. 5 Anti-fields. Source: ChatGPT. Gotanda is a major tram station in Tokyo, Japan, located in Shinagawa Ward. Here is some information about Gotanda Station. 1. Station location. Location: Gotanda Station is located in Shinagawa-ku, Tokyo, and is an important transportation hub in Tokyo. Transportation links: the station is mainly served by the following lines. JR Yamanote Line, connecting the main area of central Tokyo, it is a major railway line that loops around downtown Tokyo. Tokyo Ikegami Line, one of the main lines connecting to the Tokyo Ikegami network, serving the Ikegami area. Toei Asakusa Line, operated by the Tokyo Metro Company, it provides a service that connects Tokyo to and the surrounding areas. 2. Station facilities. Station building: Gotanda Station has multiple entrances and exits, and is equipped with facilities such as ticket vending machines, convenience stores, and restaurants. Station facilities, basic passenger services such as information desks, toilets, ATMs, etc. are available in the station. 3. Surrounding area. Commercial district. There are several commercial areas around Gotantien, including shopping malls, restaurants, bars, etc. This area attracts many residents and tourists due to its convenient transportation location. Office area. Gotanda is also an important business district, surrounded by many corporate offices and business facilities. 4. History and development. History. Gotanda Station opened in 1885 and is one of the oldest stations in Tokyo. As the city grows, so does the commercial and residential area around the station. Development. In recent years, the Gotantien area has undergone a number of urban development and redevelopment projects to enhance transportation accessibility and improve the living environment. 5. Transportation and convenience. Transfers. Gotanda Station offers a convenient transfer service that allows passengers to transfer between different railway lines. Commuting. Due to Gotanda's geographical location and transportation links, it is a commuting option for many office workers and students. 6. Sightseeing and leisure. Nearby attractions. While Gotanda is primarily a transportation hub, there are also some popular attractions and activities in the surrounding area, such as historical sites and cultural venues in Shinagawa Ward. Entertainment. There are many dining and entertainment options in Gotanda, including shopping malls, restaurants, and bars, among others. 7. Summary. Gotanda Station is an important transportation hub in Tokyo's Shinagawa district, connecting to several major railway lines and providing convenient transportation services. The commercial and office areas around the station make Gotanda a busy and convenient area. The facilities and services in and around the station make it an important place to live and work in downtown Tokyo. Source: Wikipedia. Gotanda Eki Station is a railway station located in Higashi Gotanda 1 Chome and 2 Chome, Shinagawa-ku, Tokyo, Japan, and belongs to the East Japan Railway Company, JR East Japan, Tokyo Electric Railway, Tokyo, and Tokyo Metropolitan Transportation Bureau, Toei Subway. Article 6. Freehold property rights to land and houses in Japan. Source: ChatGPT. In Japan, the freehold property system for land and houses has certain uniqueness. The following are the main features and related information about freehold land and houses in Japan. 1. Ownership of land and houses. Land ownership. Perpetual ownership. In Japan, the ownership of land is permanent, i.e. there are no expiration or deadline restrictions. The landowner has full control over the land, including the right to use, rent, sell, etc. Registration system. Ownership of land needs to be registered with the land registry, registrar, to confirm and protect ownership. The registration process includes details such as the location, area, owner, and more of the land. Home ownership. Freehold ownership. The ownership of a house is also permanent, similar to land, where the homeowner has full control over the home, including use, rent, sale, etc. Registration system. Ownership of a house is also required to be registered with the real estate registry, registrar. The registration information includes the structure, area, owner, etc. of the house. 2. The right to land and houses. Permit. Land use rights. Landowners are free to decide how land is used, such as building houses, conducting commercial activities, etc. Right to use the house. The owner of the house is free to use the house, including living, renting or remodeling. Right of assignment. Land transfer. The landowner can sell or transfer the land to another person, but a formal transfer registration is required. Conveyancing. The owner of the house can sell or transfer the house, which is also subject to registration of the transfer of immovable property. 3. Taxation of land and houses. Fixed property tax. Land tax. Japan levies a fixed asset tax, fixed asset investment, on the owner's land, and the tax amount is based on the assessed value of the land. Property tax. Homeowners are also required to pay a fixed asset tax, which is based on the assessed value of the home. Inheritance tax. Inheritance of land and house. When you inherit land or house, you need to pay inheritance tax, corresponding tax. The amount of tax depends on the value of the inherited assets. 4. Land and housing restrictions. Usage restrictions. Land use. Some land may be subject to use restrictions, such as residential, commercial, or industrial use only. These restrictions are determined by the local government's land planning and use regulations. Building restrictions. The construction of buildings may also be subject to restrictions, such as height restrictions, architectural style requirements, etc. Mortgages and guarantees. Mortgage of land and house. Land and house can be used as collateral for loans. Lenders are often required to register a mortgage to secure their interest. 5. Management and trading of Japan's immovable properties. Immovable property registration. Registration authority. Ownership and transactions of land and houses need to be registered in the real estate registry. This is a crucial step in ensuring that property rights are clear and legitimate. Registration content. The registration content includes information such as the location, area, owner, and mortgage of the immovable property. Legal protection. Legal protection. Japan's legal system provides protection for land and house ownership, including the resolution of ownership disputes, the enforcement of deeds, and more. 6. Summary. In Japan, ownership of land and houses is permanent, and the owner enjoys full control over the real estate. Both ownership and use rights need to be duly registered with the registry to ensure legitimacy and clarity. In terms of taxation, land and houses are subject to fixed asset tax and possibly inheritance tax. While there is freedom of use and transfer of immovable property, there are some restrictions on use and mortgages. Japan's legal system provides comprehensive protection for the ownership of land and houses. Source: Mitsui Fudasan. Ownership in Japan refers to the permanent ownership of land plus buildings, and the land for apartment buildings will also receive a proportional proportion of land ownership according to the area purchased by the buyer. Ownership of both land and buildings can be obtained. Conclusion: you must not have the intention of harming others, and you must not have the heart of guarding against others. Being cautious is the best way to prevent fraud.